Yeah, what we are looking at today is on contractors' performance and evaluation. So you can call it a form of checklist for contractors. So the first thing to look out for is quality. The workmanship involved, then the compliance with specification. Because sometimes on paper you have a specific specification, but what is implemented on site is not according to the specifications that has been given or that was prescribed. So you have to actually check that this quality, these specifications are actually followed. Then the second thing is schedule. So timelines of completion, adherence to milestone. Because maybe sometimes during your schedule, you can say your foundation should be maybe 5 days. So how are your engineers complying with delivering the substructure within 5 days? You understand? Then maybe the casting of your slab, maybe one day. So are they going to deliver within that time frame? Then the other thing to consider is the cost. So cost control, variation, then value for money. So how are your engineers, actually mitigating through the cost variation? Are they actually, giving the right costing? Then even the costing that are being given, are they actually considering the value for the money of that has been put into the construction process? And the other thing to look out for is safety, compliance with safety rules. So if you have a safety engineer on site, so how are the compliance going? How many accident records are you having? Incident records are you having? How frequent are these records? And what are the causes of these incidents on site? Are they, wearing the right site equipment? Are they, complying with, the safety instructions that has been given on site? And the other thing to look out for is communication, responsiveness. So as a contractor, are you responsive? Maybe your engineer told you that they need maybe a trailer of cement. So how are you going to respond? And how quick is the response? You also look at clarity. Maybe the report that has been sent to you, there are some vague areas on the report that are not clear with. So how responsive are you? Have you reached out to the engineer to get clarity on this report? Then the other thing to look out for is reporting itself, because there are different patterns to technical reports. So how do you visualize these reports? How do you interpret these reports? Then if these reports are forwarded to a layman, how do you want them to get a very clear picture of the report that has been sent to the layman? So all these put together is very, very vital in terms of communication. So is your reporting clear? Are you sending pictures? Are you actually putting the right figures in your report? Maybe you used 30 bags of cement. So is your 30 on your report? So all these things, added together tends to take care of that communication aspect. Then the other thing to look out for is the workforce. So workforce is very, very important because these are the skill level. They tend to handle the job itself. So how are they? You're missing. Are they very, very good on the work? Are they professional? Do they understand the job itself? And how long have they, been on the job? Then productivity. If your workforce is not skillful, it's technically going to affect their productivity. So you actually need to get good mason, good iron bender, good whatsoever on site that are going to handle these jobs in a way that it tends to reduce the time that would have been consumed, thereby increasing the productivity. Then attendance is very, 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 very important and crucial in construction, because You may even say the job is scheduled for maybe 8 a.m. and at the end of the day you see some persons coming to site at around maybe 9 or 10. So and that's 2 hours late. So and this tends to reduce the productivity of the day. So it is very, very imperative for you to critically take note of the attendance. So if you schedule, the construction to be maybe 8 a.m. in the morning, then how many of your workforce are going to be there by that 8 a.m.? Is your mason going to be there? Is your iron bender going to be there? The manual labor, are they going to be there at that 8 a.m.? So all these things we actually need to put into consideration. So the benefit of your checklist as a contractor, I think the first is to improve the project outcome. So your checklist actually helps you to improve the project outcome. Then it helps to encourage, continuous improvement, because with checklist, it helps you to see the areas where you are lacking behind, where those lapses are, and you can actually bridge, the gap between those lapses. Then support fair and transparent decision making. So with your checklist, with the comparison you've made, it helps you to actually know those areas that you are lacking behind. It also helps you to make the right decisions. Then strengthens contractors relationship, yes, because your checklist tend to even help you strengthen your relationship with your client. As a contractor, you already have abreast the information, the right informations, so to even give to your to your client. So if your client calls to even get to know the how far the work has proceeded, you'll be able to give accurate and valuable information. So it helps you to strengthen that relationship between the contractor and the client. Then it helps in future contractor selection. Yes. So if you are being fed the right information at the right time, that relationship tends to help in future contract and other selection. So all this put together is very, very important. So you can see in table 2 the performance rating. So you can see the criterias, then the weight, the ratings, and the scores there. So you have the quality, which is the first one, and it is very, very important. Then we have the schedule, we have the safety, the cost control, and the communication. So you're going to add figures for it, so you'll be able to check. This table actually helps you to know how the performance of a contractor is, and it also helps you to gain more improvement over time.